Hello! Lawrence Kenshin has shared a wonderful segment on an old-school Taekwondo legend who found a lot of success in the kickboxing arena, but for many of you who have studied this discipline, you know that the methods used to score the sport have watered it down. Many practitioners do not have the intent Manson Gibson had when striking. Why is this? With contestants laden with sensors, they track not the intent or power of the strike, but merely the number of times the contestant has been touched. This emphasizes speed and as little fallout from the body as possible. You just want to tap, because if you were to follow through with heavy intent, the recovery time would increase, giving you less volume, and also could leave a greater window to be counter against with a tap, which means another point for them. You merely touch so that you may recover quickly, so that you can touch again and again and again. Now, if this were applied to a real-world context, a few roundhouses from a Thai fighter would smash it all to pieces. This is why this noble discipline isn't as prevalent in its true form. But with its footwork and philosophy as a base, I've always believed when you learn the Muay Thai, the boxing, kickboxing, the grappling, jiu-jitsu wrestling is something to compensate for its holes, you have actually gained a massive knowledge advantage over the rest of the competition. Why is this? I believe it is for the same reason as to why wrestling and boxing have always been the strongest spaces. It is due to the limitations that they are strong. The more limited a style is, the more it forces you to work on the details to compensate for the rest. An example of this would be in boxing, Roy Jones. Because Roy had a tendency of relying on his right, his father forced Roy to only box with his left hand. Tying his right behind his back, then tossing Roy to the wolves, it creatively developed his left in that chaos. This is what chiseled his elusive style and crisp left hook that he was signature for. By limiting himself to one hand, that harsh environment bred creativity, which gifted a knowledge advantage to compensate. So what happens when you gain a knowledge advantage, then add the rest? I believe that's what you're watching here, with 76 victories and 6 defeats. Ignacio Kaplash, a Taekwondo-based kickboxer known to many as the Missile for very obvious reasons. It's clear he understands the concept of a low kick, he understands the boxing, the kickboxing aspect of the stand-up, but he also has beautiful, explosive spinning hook, back and turning side kicks. He can throw you off with an axe kick, which can create space for something else, counter you with a textbook side kick meanwhile. The same way a grappler can force your attention down low with his grappling pressure, innately opening up high. The philosophy is the same. It's not that Ignacio's hands are phenomenal, but more so, they find their mark because the pressure his dynamic kicking applies has his opponent's mind too overwhelmed to deal. They don't have a distinct pattern to read, to time against, thus, with their attention spread all over the place, that's what hands his hands the window. With these samples of Ignacio, it's very clear to see Ignacio bringing a skill and knowledge advantage. Now, because Taekwondo focuses primarily on its feet, the flexibility, the deceptive chambers, the nimble footwork, it's a style that comes at a great disadvantage versus a more simple yet more complete one like Muay Thai. But if you were to combine the two, you have created a monster. Israel Adesanya is a perfect example of this. Learning Taekwondo as a child, then adding the Muay Thai, then of course everything else from mixed martial arts, he is recognized as the highest level kickboxer to enter the mixed martial arts arena. Rising prodigy and stand-up practitioner whose coach is also an Olympic Taekwondo trainer, Zabit Magomed Sharipov is an example of this as well. One of the highest level strikers in the UFC, Edson Barboza, a Taekwondo black belt. Rose Namajunas, known for a beautiful, elusive movement, her footwork, a Taekwondo black belt. Taekwondo is not a weak discipline by any means. The footwork, flexibility, timing, and deception, conditioned due to its limitations, its focus on just the feet, like composite materials reinforcing the attributes of the other, you understand its limitations are what make it valuable. Because when you pair it with a good match, it creates a matrix that strengthens the whole far beyond what the two alone could have achieved. Understanding this, we have now received a small piece to the puzzle as to why all of these individuals are monsters. If you'd like more from me, please subscribe and hit the notifications. Thank you if you did. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. It's good karma. And until next time, peace.